Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 5 of my G-Senjou no Maou, or Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Last episode, Aichi attempted to get his revenge on Kanon, and then Kanon destroyed Kyosuke's precious box CD. An act which we cannot forgive. So, Kyosuke came up with his own revenge. They were going to steal the PE storage room key, which would delay the volleyball tournament Kanon was so looking forward to. And so they did. They swiped the key and left. And on the way out, Kyosuke met up with Usami, who told him she was searching for Maou. So please enjoy. At this time of day, the region of downtown Tonbetsu City called Central District was enveloped in the darkness of night. Row upon row of colossal buildings sheltered the deserted streets from the cold winter air. Still, even wild dogs and the homeless stayed away from central business. The offices of hundreds of powerful companies line up against each other within the single district. During business hours, famous celebrities from all around the world pass through this area and invariably show up on the media. Some business magazines have gone so far as to call Tomenbetsu's central business the second largest Japanese economic powerhouse following Tokyo's business district. In the region's center lies an especially eye-catching enormous high-rise, a gargantuan tower with 50 stories above ground and 6 beneath. It was designed with the purpose of overlooking the entire city in mind, a purpose not unlike that of the company it houses, the headquarters of Sano Corporation, one of Japan's top conglomerates. When the other offices went into slumber, only this firmly remained awake. Since they acquire intelligence from agents all around the world, the data simply couldn't be processed without a 24-hour work schedule. In the deepest part of the building stood Maou, the 7th floor below the surface, a floor which should not have existed at all. The hidden chamber. It belonged to the Sano Corporation. Yes, but only a very select few were allowed to enter. The average employee would not even be aware of its existence. This building had more security systems installed than any other in central business. Surveillance cameras, metal detectors, they had it all. The only access to this room was an elevator that led directly to the ground floor. For emergencies, triple reinforced glass separated the elevator door from the entrance to the secret room. Even if someone was murdered in this room, the evidence could easily be concealed. A lone male said this, a man in a double-layered suit who looked to be somewhere in his 50s. A few strands of gray popped out from his head of neatly combed hair. His Sano Corporation ID badge reflected a dull light under the dim fluorescent lamp. I'm very sorry for calling you out this late, but I would like to remind you that I, too, am pressed for time. The man's tone portrayed his strong confidence. His name was Somaya. As Sano Corporation's Director of Senior Management and Head of Corporate Strategy, he holds absolute power in this company. A single order from this man could cause the Nikkei index to fluctuate. A single phrase could drive an employee to take his own life. Nevertheless, Maou merely stared blankly at the wall before him. You've been Senior Management Strategist from the shadows for nearly a year now. Isn't that right? Rather than nodding, Maou calmly rearranged his position. In the beginning, I thought you were just an outsider. Even with a recommendation from the CEO, This company has been in business for 80 proud years without letting outsiders get involved so easily. He's beating around the bush. Perhaps that particular tendency comes with the territory for someone working in the trade business. Maou looked at Somiya emotionlessly. True, the efforts of your actions are very remarkable. Thanks to you, our company finally got a foothold in the previously monopolized military industries. Also, the layoff that allowed the company to get rid of the so-called large enterprise disease was necessary, as you suggested. Other than those, he showed no sign of stopping the phrase. However, Maou already sensed the truth lying behind Somiya's words. Thus, he finally began to speak. What you want to say is, you don't need me anymore. His quiet voice went straight to the point. Somiya went silent. You gained huge profits by following my orders. Yes. But at the same time, you started many projects that can't be revealed to the public eye. Our company is taking too many risks. Because of me? Because of that devil's brain of yours. Somiya's lips quivered. Maou knows. Somiya may be in the position of power within an enormous company, but that only applies to the workings of the company itself. With respects to the illegal acts planned by Maou, he was a mere greenhorn. To be frank with you, I want you to go to South America. That's pretty warm. Maou let a subtle laugh escape his lips. Somiya tried to smooth things over. You should go into hiding for a while until things calm down. That's pretty warm, Maou repeated again. Yes, it is warm there. I've already prepared a resort over there. I promise you, you won't be treated unfairly. Maou shook his head. Wrong. What's wrong? I'm saying your sheltered little psyche is warm. Somiya cringed as if he had bit his tongue. You should take care of me a bit more thoroughly if I'm truly in your way. Thoroughly? Just then, the elevator door opened. A man in white entered. Somiya's face turned to the side. He welcomed the man with eyes that cried for help. Allow me to introduce someone. This is Kawashima-kun. He was a young man that looked to be in his mid-20s. He was pale and frail-looking, but his eyes seemed to glow with an eerie sheen. He seemed like the type that would be more at home in a laboratory than a business enterprise. This is our company's new consultant. He's from Boston University. We had him come out here as a huge favor. My successor, then.
I studied game theory during my time there.
Kawashima spoke with a husky voice.
I hear they call you Maou, so I was looking forward to seeing just what kind of person you are. But I wasn't expecting someone so young. I'm 26 this year, but you must be even younger than me.
For a game theory specialist, you sure like revealing information about yourself.
I heard about you from Mr. Somiya.
Maou took a look at Somiya. That motion alone filled Somiya with fear. Kawashima-kun's already an employee. It doesn't matter if he knows, does it? An employee? I see. A big company like Senjou Corporation certainly wouldn't want to rely on an outsider like me.
This is a transfer of power. From now on, Senjou Corporation will enter a clean and open new era.
Kawashima continued his pretentious speech. Maou didn't hate young men who were blinded by pride. He smiled as he thought, "Oh, come, lovely child."
What? You have something you want to say?
Sure enough, you might be a genius. However, you have not yet to accomplish anything, correct? Kawashima sneered.
Listen, boyo. Business strategy is all about theory. Results always come out of it sooner or later. It's been statistically proven that people like myself with a firm grasp of business theory provide results for their corporations.
Sounds reliable. Maou slowly walked towards Kawashima. Let's play a game.
A game?
If you win, I'll step down gracefully. Treat this as your employment test. Kuwashima smiled as Maou finished.
No problem. What's the game?
Maou stretched out his left arm and held it out before Kuwashima. He spread out each finger and pointed it at the man before him. You show your fingers too. Kuwashima held out his left hand. Now, you and I have 10 fingers in total.
Even Maou has only 5 fingers.
Maou continued calmly, ignoring Kuwashima's mockery. The rules are simple. We will both take turns and use our right hand to bend those 10 fingers.
The finger bending game? I'm pretty good at this.
You can bend either 2 fingers or 1 during your turn, but you cannot bend fingers from the same hand twice in a row.
1 or 2, and the person who bends the last finger wins?
You're smart. Any questions? Then Kuwashima quietly chuckled. He was going to conceal his amusement. It seemed that his laughter was directed at what he considered to be his opponent's stupidity.
I have a proposal, Maou.
What is it?
May I have the first move?
Maou nodded. Kuwashima smirked as his proposal was approved. But I have an idea as well.
Anything's fine with me. Please, go ahead.
A 20-second time limit for each turn. What do you think?
20 seconds? 10 should be enough.
Is 10 seconds really okay?
Yep.
You sure?
Enough discussion. Let's start already.
Maou and Kuwashima faced each other. Each spread his left hand and straightened his fingers.
So, let the game begin. I'm going first.
Kuwashima bent his own thumb with his right hand. This is the first move. Since they began with Kuwashima's thumb, the person who bends Mao's little finger will be the winner. Maou bent his own thumb, and Kuwashima's index finger. Your turn. Time limit's 10 seconds.
Huh.
Kuwashima bent Mao's index finger, with a confident look on his face. One's enough?
Yes, my victory has already been set in stone.
Maou bent 2 fingers during his next turn. Kuwashima's middle finger, and then his own. Kuwashima chuckled afterward.
Don't make me laugh, Maou.
What is it?
This is precisely the game where the person to count to the number 10 wins. Even middle school students know how to win at this.
Kuwashima touched his own ring finger, and then laughed uncontrollably.
My ring finger is the 7th in the game. Winning is easy once you look at it backwards. To bend the last finger, whoever reaches the 7th finger wins.
Ah,
You must bend the 4th to bend the 7th, and you must bend the 1st to bend the 4th, which means the person who takes the first turn has a guaranteed victory from the beginning.
Maou listened to Kuwashima's explanation quietly.
Meaning when I put the 7th finger down, Maou can only bend the 8th or the 8th and the 9th at the same time. If you bend the 8th, I'll follow with the 9th and 10th. If you take both the 8th and 9th, I bend the 10th directly.
Then Kuwashima finally put the 7th finger, his own ring finger, down. You're talking too much. It's already far beyond the time limit. Maou said this calmly. Though, I would love to say you've already lost. I'll let you off just this once.
Worthy of the name Maou. Thank you for your generosity.
But there won't be a second time. Let's continue.
Continue the game? Don't you get what I just said?
3 fingers remain. The 8th, Mao's ring finger. The 9th, Kuwashima's little finger. And the 10th, Mao's little finger.
Are you stupid? I just put the 7th finger down. You're going to lose no matter what.
You never know who's going to win until the end. Maou put down his ring finger, then stretched his right hand toward Kuwashima's pinky.
What an ignorant person. Mr. Sobiya, will you acknowledge me already?
Kuwashima's was drunk on his victory, but then it happened. Suddenly, Kuwashima screamed. He didn't clearly understand what had just happened, but his suffering and shock were plain on his face.
Eek! What did you do?
As opposed to the panicked Kuwashima, Maou didn't even make the slightest reaction. It's bent rather nicely, isn't it?
Ugh. Ah!
Once you've experienced it, you'll know that it doesn't really hurt that much when you break your little finger. Kuwashima's face turned pale. His finger was pointing in an impossible direction. Ow!
Yeah.
It was no doubt a shock to a researcher like Kuwashima. Maou had truly bent his pinky. Now, it's your turn. You said that 10 seconds was plenty, yes? Kuwashima didn't respond. Instead, he bent down and shivered in pain. What's wrong? As I've said before, you can't go over the time limit twice. Come on. My pinky is the only finger left. All you have to do is bend it and you win.
Help me!
Kuwashima has already abandoned all thoughts about the game. The match was decided. Maou put down his arm and spoke to the man before him, as he whimpered like a small animal. I knew your capabilities as a strategist from your very first move. Maou continued his speech without a shred of pride in his victory. Just as you said, in this game, the person who takes the first move wins. Everyone knows that, yes, but it's precisely because everyone knows it that you should stop to think more deeply about it. Kuwashima's face lurched as he blocked his forehead with the back of his hand. He has already understood his complete failure. You should have broken my thumb with your first move. Unlike the little finger, breaking one's thumb is quite painful. That's why I suggested the 20-second time limit. I wanted 20 seconds to be able to withstand the pain and shock of broken thumb. Oh my god! Snapping someone's fingers just like that! You can't be a corporate strategist if you hesitate to hurt someone. A word from us can destroy a company, break a family, or force employees to suicide. It's not a job for a normal human being. Maou glanced at Somiya, standing at the corner of the room like a decoration. Mr. Somiya, do you understand? Mm-hmm. Sweat started pouring from Somiya's forehead, as if he just now realized how terribly powerful Maou really was. If you truly find me an unnecessary hindrance to your company, I would advise you to do something less reckless than simply ship me off to South America. Ellipses? That's a very lenient decision. After all, I still have unfinished business, and I need this company's help to finish it. I have yet to receive my proper compensation for the profits I have earned the company. If I were to be treated unfairly like that, I would have ended up taking revenge on the Sano Corporation. I understand. Somiya raised his arms nervously. Maou continued closing in. You said this before, didn't you? That even if someone died here, it would be easily concealed? I said I understand. You should kill me. That would be the best way. Stop! Maou knows how to control his fellow man. He simply causes pain without hesitation. Somiya and Kuwashima can't do this. Just now, Maou demonstrated this lethal distinction. This distinction and the magnificent, overwhelming strength of violence. Damn demon. Somiya's curse was only a compliment to the Maou. It's not easy to get away from a clinical psychology counselor once one gets a hold of you. Truth be told, you can't find a person in this world without a single psychological problem. And if you ask me, doctors are labeling mere discontent as a serious disease. The good news is that I haven't reached the point where I need to be sent to a hospital yet. Still, a 5,000 yen per hour therapy fee is simply too much of a waste in my eyes. They make money by preaching bullshit about something you could have figured out from reading a book. What a magical, lucrative business. So, should I just talk about my past again? A certain building in the business district houses a clinical psychology institute on its 5th floor. Beyond the reception desk, inside the therapist room, I sat sitting face to face with the attending physician. The room itself was a spacious 500 square feet or more. A comfortable sofa and a surreal landscape painting are present to relieve anxiety, and a pair of matching tea-colored bookcases position themselves alongside the daily commodities. Even the light music that was circulating the room was there to target the sought-after goal of soothing a patient's soul. This would be the 10th time, right? Dr. Akimoto's tone was steady. His overweight body was wrapped in a white coat, and he directed a warm gaze at me. I've already read the story of his life from the back cover of his book. His picture gave off the impression of your everyday chubby man, like that of a pig, but he's quite a distinguished man. He studied in the States, acted as a special lecturer in a certain university in Tokyo, and had been a psychological counselor in the hospital of said university. Kyosuke-kun, it's time you told me the truth. It always takes him a while to get to the point, but I've already gotten so used to it that I've come to find it almost endearing. It's been a year since we first met. To tell you the truth, I didn't really believe the things you told me back then. Really? Now, what was it you said back then? One could say this job entails getting his patients to repeat what he already knows over and over for themselves. It seems like I have different values than the average teenager in this society. Everyone always says to trust others, respect your superiors, help your friends, and honor your parents. But that's not the way my mind works. I believe that people's hearts can be bought with money. That everyone only thinks of themselves, and that people act in order to further propagate what benefits them most. Oh, you're a bit of a cynic.
Yeah.
Dr. Akimoto shook his blubbery head.
Blubbery, oh my god.
As human beings, everyone has a good side and a bad side. Children will see strays as pitiful and try to care for them. But on the flip side, they will also do things like shove firecrackers down in frog's throat. As a person grows, they will learn to adjust their emotions and suppress evil thoughts with reason. For instance, have you ever wanted to hit someone? Yes. When someone borrowed money without any intent to pay it back, I wanted to kill them. But you didn't really kill him, right? Yes. He nodded again, satisfied. Because English is ambiguous like that. Did he mean he did kill them, or he didn't kill them?
Yeah, you don't know. You didn't kill him. Was it you didn't kill him, right? Yes, you're right. Or you didn't kill him, right? Yes, I killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Because English is ambiguous like that. Yes, that is boundary. That is the line that separates you from personality disorder sufferers. This could also just be the standard problems and worries that come with growing up, yes? Actually, a certain university professor in America did an experiment. It proved that the hormonal fluctuations that teenagers go through as they grow up does not significantly contribute to the development of delinquent behaviors. But the things that I'm doing right now aren't all that different from the actions of a delinquent. Gonzo introduced me to Dr. Akimoto. So, on some level, he knows about my position within the Izai Corporation. I'm trying to say that your belief in the fact that people can be bought by money must stem from some underlying cause. And that cause is? That's something that you need to figure out on your own. Oh, truly a lucrative business, worthy of respect. Of course, there's a reason that I spend my money on this counseling. This is a process that I must go through in order to receive a psychiatrist's signature on certain documents. Those documents waive a large portion of my school's attendance and credit requirements, making it easier to graduate. To a person like me, who skips often and doesn't take his academics seriously, it's a great deal. Of course, it does cost a pretty penny, but I only come here once a month, and I just think of it as using money to buy time. Needless to say, I don't have some personality disorder like Akimoto suspects. Today, why don't we talk about what happened when your current father, Azai Gonzo, adopted you? That story's a bit long. Is that alright? Yes, don't rush yourself. It's fine. I glanced at the clock on the wall. I have 15 minutes left of the hour-long session. If I waste too much time, I'm going to be charged extra. To put it simply, it's a result of my biological father's debt. 50 million yen in total. That's a bit of money.
Yeah.
Most of it was from bank and NBFC loans. The real problem started when he borrowed dirty money from Gonzo's organizations. Our family was cruelly and continuously harassed by Gonzo's thugs. After mortgaging the house, they carried away all our belongings, furniture and electronics. There was nothing left. I've only found out recently that they sold everything to a pawn shop. Mother was a bit sickly. Since we didn't even have a bed, we could only lay down on some winter clothes in place of futons. Still, even my wildest dreams would never have suspected the loan sharks to be so cruel. Yes, according to the newly passed laws, the police can intervene on behalf of citizens when they come into conflict with underground societies. There was even an organization called the Victims Association. They used the internet to expose the ways that the money went through the underground. But these efforts were merely a joke to these peoples. If one debt collector was chased away, another will come. If that one is chased away, yet another will rear his ugly head. No matter what, no matter how many times we fled or sought shelter, they would find us and knock on our doors. Filing for bankruptcy was popular for a while, but the process could take approximately 1 year from initial claim to closure. During this period of time, if the loan sharks caught up to you, you'd be dead. Your home, your parents' home, your friends' homes, hotels nearby, taxi companies, newspaper stands, any place where one could get a temporary job, they would search everywhere. In their minds, it's a humiliation to allow one's prey to escape. As people hung up on preserving their honor, those stubborn bastards would chase us to the end, only stopping once they devoured us whole. We were easily caught at my grandmother's place. They even chased us all the way to Hokkaido. It was terrifying. Those bastards didn't even spare Mom. They bashed my face in when I tried to protect her. And that was how I first became involved with Azai Gonzo. I glanced at the clock again. The hour's almost up. I need to stop by the school. I'd better wrap this up fast. So that's how it is. I understand. Really? Well then, are you finished? Yes. There's something I need to do after this. I understand. However, Azai-kun. Dr. Akimoto lowered the meek corners of his eyes. What you've just told me still doesn't show me what kind of person you are. For instance, a natural next question would be, why would Azai Gonzo adopt the son of one of his debtors? I'm sorry, sir, but the time. Oh, it's all right. It's just a little while. I know that you're meticulous about the time. You're worried about the fee, right? He's definitely worthy of being someone whose business is people. He saw through me right away. Then I'll continue for a little longer. I sighed and picked up where I left off. He said,
You just might be something someday.
Gonzo-san said that? It's probably because he saw that I didn't seem scared, even though I was being pounded on by thugs. You were quite courageous then. It's because my mind had shut down at the time. Whatever the case may be, it's quite impressive to have Yakuza see potential in you like that. This man's too warm. I've met many people like him in my time. Nevertheless, I don't feel anything. No matter how understanding a person is, you can't trust him. Even distinguished people, like this university professor and hospital advisor, are still after nothing but money. There have been occurrences like today where he gave me discounts on the extra time I took. But that too is just another attempt to placate and manipulate his customers. If personal interests aren't a part of the motive, then things just don't add up. I'd rather deal with the simple, easy-to-understand side of humanity than try to truly know someone. So, I became the son of Izai Gonzao. Because in the whole world, you won't find a bastard that's as simple as him. Gonzo gave me a warm place to live, everyday necessities, and the means and motivation to graduate from middle school. If I went to see him today and mentioned that I wanted to work for the family business in the future, he'd enroll me tomorrow in a business classes only the rich could afford. If I decided I wanted to get in shape, then he'll introduce me to a boxing coach. Only, he didn't do that out of love or goodwill. After he heard my request, Gonzo would say the same thing every time.
Listen, Kyosuke. The reason that I give you these things and money is to put you under my control.
Dr. Akamoto's expression became grave for an instant.
If you ever get the idea in your head to off me in my sleep, I'll have raised you in such a way to make you hesitate to go through with it, if even for but a second.
I've heard the rumors, but he truly is a fearsome father. Isn't it great? How simple and easy he is to understand? He had no answer to my inquiry. Well, that's pretty much it for time. Oh, one last thing. What is it? Do your friends ever mention that you're forgetful? I frowned. I sometimes forget about promises that I made. Yeah, promises you made, 2-3 hours earlier?
I do that too, though.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm forgetful too.
He nodded with force. What about it? Oh, it's nothing. For a busy young man such as yourself, such mistakes are normal. He's clearly trying to hide the truth. The reason that he asked me the question. He likely intends to leave it hanging like that on purpose, as a teaser for the next appointment. Well then, let's meet again at the next opportunity. Thanks again for today. I straightened up and left. After I paid at the end of the hall, I was suddenly hit with a wave of dizziness. Ellipses. I need a change of pace. I'm forgetful? I should be complaining about how much I can't forget. I can't shake the sentiments that comes from her casual trashing of my CD, knowing that it was something that I valued more than anything other than my own life. Canon, I'll make sure that you pay.
Ethan, listen.
When I arrived at school, it was already lunch break. Kenan was grumbling with a frown.
I can't play volleyball.
Looks like the plan is progressing without a hitch. Just as planned. What? What happened? I desperately fought back my laughter as I listened to her complain. But I don't have to fight back my laughter!
Alright, you took a little more enjoyment out of that than I did. The key to the gem storage room disappeared for some reason. Jeez, where did it go?
I have no idea. The keys are already in the school's mailbox. Really? That's too bad. Aichi's eyes were sparkling with evil.
I thought that was his normal.
Pretty
Look.
much. Well, sparkling with evil or lust.
Yeah. Well, his brand of lust, I'd say, is pretty
Yeah, true.
evil. We ended up running a marathon instead. Running a marathon in this cold weather makes me want to transfer again. I feel you.
What? You were looking forward to it too?
No. I'm not good at sports, especially not ball-related games like volleyball. I could go somewhere with that, but I'm not going to.
She's not good at things when balls come flying towards her face.
That's even better.
No, it was just a quote from a movie I saw. The follow-up line was, "Well, there goes your social life." It's got nothing to do with ball games. You're just bad at anything team-oriented, aren't you?
Oh no, not at all.
She desperately lacked self-awareness.
But, Kana-chan, the game is just delayed, that's all. Nan-chan has to join the group training session for 3 days next week. I won't be here.
Too bad. Too bad, so sad. Aichi and I exchanged glances as we tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Still, I wonder who hid the key. Oh, you goddamn idiot!
Oh god.
Dramatic ellipses.
No.
Shock stole my words as Usami opened her mouth to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, he's boned.
Yeah.
Yet Aichi still had that stupid grin on his face. I'm just wondering what kind of person stole the key.
Stole?
Yeah.
No one said the key was stolen.
Huh? This is bad.
Why did you think that it was stolen?
Huh? It's nothing. Just a hunch.
What? Usami-san? Aichi-kun?
Usami advanced towards Aichi.
Edakichi-san.
I told you, it's Aichi.
Edakichi-san, did you ever see or use the gem storage room key?
This is bad. This is really bad. The key? No. I never saw it. It's always been kept by the teachers.
Then why did you say that key just now?
Huh?
You said it, didn't you? I wonder what kind of person stole that key. Normally one would say the key. Wouldn't you agree? Why would anyone use that if they'd never seen it?
Come on now. Are you really nitpicking over that?
Is Ai-chan the thief?
Kennen raised her hand. Wait, it wasn't me.
Kana-chan, calm down. Oopsies. Hold it right there.
Whoa! Aichi bolted, leaving Kennen to chase after him.
Azai-san,
Usami suddenly turned toward me.
thanks a lot for yesterday.
No problem. I have a bad feeling about this.
Azai-san, you're smart. What do you think?
Nah, I'm not that smart. Could it be that she suspects me? Well, Aichi's obviously not smart enough to pull off a plot like this by himself.
True.
And the only other person who would help him on something like this... Damn. The biggest advantage to this plan was the single fact that we wouldn't naturally be suspected or become suspects. But that idiot just had to go and poke a hole through the armor.
If the truth were ever to be revealed, the punishment would be quite harsh. Correct?
Yeah. If it really was him, he'd be suspended.
Absolutely. After all, it wasn't just our class. The entire school was unable to use the storage room.
Ellipses.
However, while Edikichi-san has an evil heart, a chicken is still a chicken. He's just a slime.
I knew it. She's suspecting me. If we're found to be responsible, we'll be suspended. Ichi is just a small-time troublemaker. He wouldn't take that kind of risk. What? Are you trying to say that I'm his accomplice? The corner of Usami's mouth curved upwards.
Zai-san also happens to have a motive.
Oh? And what is this so-called motive?
Your CD was scratched, correct? An eye for an eye. Wouldn't it just be delightful if the volleyball tournament that she was so looking forward to is cancelled?
She saw right through my plot. She's a smart cookie. Wait, I'm a chicken as well. Buck, buck, buck.
You are?
Yeah, see, I have feathers and a little thing under the chin. If I wanted to get back at her, I would. But why would I do something on this scale and disrupt the entire school like a terrorist?
If you want to hide a tree, hide it in a forest. Or, as the old saying goes, if you want to hide a penguin, hide it in a group of penguins. I don't think that's quite how it goes.
The old saying of what planet?
When one expands the list of suspects, it becomes much easier to hide from justice. Don't you think that's a very proficient way to go about things?
Look, I really wasn't involved. I mean, come on. Disrupting the entire school for the day just to satisfy a personal grudge is way too much for me.
The day?
God damn it.
Why did you say the day? Is the key going to hop on out all by itself tomorrow morning? And you sounded so sure. Why do you think that the key is going to be found within the day?
This is all circumstantial evidence. You can't get any of it to stick.
Yep.
No, wait. I can still get away with this. The school can't screw up PE 2 days in a row. The teachers will think of something. Besides, I never said the key would be found today, just that PE has been disrupted for the day. Don't make that kind of misleading statements. Usami laughed lightly again.
That might be the case.
You get it?
I understand, but I still can't accept it.
We stared at each other for a while. No need to panic. She has no proof. Unless some idiot spills the beans. The keys will be found soon, and all the commotion will die down soon enough. As long as there is no proof that Aichi was in the faculty office at 9 o'clock last night, this affair will be buried in the darkness. What did that idiot do?
Lunch break is gonna be over soon.
Yeah, and it's really cold too. We should go back to the classroom.
Kano-chan, don't you think you should stop?
Kanon was yanking Aichi along by the tie. It wasn't me! It wasn't me!
Why? Why? Usami-san, Zai-kun wouldn't cause trouble for everyone, right? I only wanted to say that what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. But we're all friends. It's not good to suspect your friends. When a friend does wrong, not saying they're wrong is evil.
She's got a steady head on her shoulders. Yet something in my gut, or the very bottom of my heart, can't help but feel repulsed. Just who the hell is this girl?
Anyway, Tsubaki, didn't I tell you to call me Hiro?
And she gets pissed about the weirdest things.
Sorry, Usami-san. What the hell did I just say?
And that's 3. And so, lunch break ended.